Hello my friends. So today I am going to tell you a small story that happened with me. Once I was in Himachal Pradesh. So there we were given a sort of task where we were asked to go out and spend a night outside somewhere with some stranger or with the family or anywhere, but we were not allowed to come back stay at our place. And believe me, we were not given any money, we were not given any cell phone, so all our belongings were kept with them, and we were let go outside to stay for a night. So in the beginning, and we were given the whole day, means we started from the morning and we had to report. So we left at around, let's say, 8 or 9 in the morning, and we were supposed to return back almost at the same time. So 24 hours we had to spend outside, stay outside, and then come back. So we started, and we were a bunch of people, but we had to be all separate. We had to go at different places. So we went to different places. I went through the villages and passed by the mountains. And finally, when it started getting dark, initially um, uh, I was so hesitant to ask people to let me in their house. But then I thought, oh, now it's getting darker and I don't have any choice. I cannot go back and stay. So then I started requesting people. So first I tried with the monastery. I was at a place which is a small town called Chontada, which is nearby Beed itself in Himachal Pradesh. So there are so many monasteries. So I tried my hand at the monasteries. I spoke to the monks there, but unfortunately they said no, they cannot let me in. So then I went to the village, a small village nearby, and I requested many people, can you please help me, can I stay with you for night? They asked me so many questions, but nobody let me in. But some really wanted to help me, but they said, okay, we cannot let you in, but we can take you to the police station where you can spend a night. But I did not want to be at the police station. Why would I? Then I tried my hand, and as I mentioned, it was getting darker and darker, and I was in a village where there is no street lights as such as in the city. So then somebody suggested, why don't you go to the village head, the pradhan? I said, okay, let me try. I went to the pradhan's home. I told him the whole story. He heard the story, but then he said, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot let you in. I felt disappointed, but then I said, okay, no worries, let me try another home then. So it was getting darker. As I said, there was no light as such in the village, and villages in the hill, they sleep very early, and oh, means the entire area gets blacked down. So I was worried because in the mountains there are animals also. So I was worried, and so what I did, I checked out the next home to the village, the pradhan's home. So I talked to that person, and he heard my whole story again, and then luckily and finally he agreed to let me in, and I was so thankful. So he heard my whole story, and he also had the same fears that everyone had. Maybe I was a thief, maybe I was a looter, maybe I was not a good person, and I did not have any support, means I did not have any ID, I did not have any cell phone, you know. But that person trusted on me, although partially I would say, because I stayed at the same place, and believe me, I was sleeping, and that person also slept with me that night, means in the same room there were two beds, and he was the head of the family. And and the light was up the whole night, it was not down. Again, as I said, for the same fears, I believe. And the person, it seemed to me, because I was in between, I was opening my eyes, I was just checking out, and that it seemed that that person maybe did not sleep the whole night, maybe just out of the fear, because he had a big family, he was the head of the family, there were kids, there were girls, there were women in the house, and he had all these inhibitions, he had all these insecurities, means because I may be anyone. So I respected that. And the next morning, when I woke up, I believe it was Shivratri that day, and Shivratri is a big festival in Himachal, and there they made so many delicacies, and they treated me with all that. Means I had a heavy, very heavy breakfast that morning, all these chole bhature and all these puri, sabji, aloo and different kind of varieties. So I was so happy that I finally got a chance to stay with the family. And that person, interestingly, was the brother of the pradhan. They were living next to each other, means in different set of their own sort of small houses. So I was so happy with that experience. And the moral of the story is that sometimes you, when you see that, oh, I am not getting success, I am not getting success, but if you don't give up, if you keep doing what you are doing, there is a time you will definitely reach to your goal. You will definitely achieve what you have in your mind. So just keep working hard, do not give up. Maybe even I would again go to a place, means because I did not have any choice, maybe I would go to another place if I was refused from the same place. And believe me, when we all met, we were around 9-10 people, and we all had such interesting stories. This is one story, that is my story. So similarly, there were 10 more different stories where people had such experiences, because they also went to different places with the same conditions and same things. And there were girls also, believe me, who were part of our group, and they stayed with the family, the girls all alone, and maybe they had the same reasons. They stayed with the family and they came back and they told their stories, and all these stories were so amazing. I still remember all these stories. So this was my story. And I also have a small thing that I basically noticed, that when you are in villages, this was not a village, but a bigger town than the village, I would say, a bigger village, I would say. When you go to small villages where people have less of wealth, less money, there their hearts are open, they are ready to welcome you. But where people have things or belongings, so they have more fears, that what if the other person is not good, what if I lost my money, what if that person is a thief, what if that person is a criminal, so. But somebody who doesn't have that much of belonging, that much of wealth, he or that person is fearless. So I noticed that in small villages people have less fear, they are ready to accept you. But especially for example, if somebody comes to your place in the cities like Delhi or other places, how would you react if the person like me comes and says, okay, can I have a stay at your place for one night? I am sure none, even I will not agree somebody to have at my place. But if I am living in maybe in a mountain, or if I live in a village, people will welcome you. And we had all these stories also, where some of us went to small villages in the interiors, and where people welcomed them with all their happiness and all their heart. And they had amazing experiences, as I had. My experience was mixed, but some of them had a great experience. So this was my story. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.